Good morning, everyone. I will be sharing this morning from the book of Ruth. The title of this one will be Don't Let a Hard Place Become a Bitter Place. Don't let a hard place become a bitter place. And this really came out to me when I was studying this book, and also when I was studying Exodus chapter 2, when the children of Israel, when they were in Egypt, and the Pharaoh there had set taskmasters over the Hebrew people, and they had to serve with rigor and severity. But one thing, when I was studying, I saw that the Hebrews, they were mainly shepherds. However, the Egyptians were mostly builders, but we didn't see where, because they were enduring such severity, that they became bitter, right? And then while I was studying that as well, it came out to me that when God puts you in a certain place, it is for you to learn the skill. Yes, the Hebrew, they were mainly shepherds, but when they came out, they were also shepherds and builders, because they had learned the skill set from the Egyptians, right? So also I want to point out to you Ruth chapter 1. The title again is Don't Let a Hard Place Become a Bitter Place. Don't let that place where you're supposed to be learning and gaining wisdom and experience, for you to turn around and to let that now become bitter, right? So it started off, it says, now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled, that there was a famine in the land. And a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons. And the name of the man was Elimelech, and the name of his wife Naomi, and they also had 2 sons, right? All right, just going down further, verse 4. And they took them wives of the women of Moab. The name of one was Orpha, and the other was Ruth. And they dwelled there about 10 years. Now happened that Naomi's sons had died, and now she was now left with her daughters-in-law. Verse 6. Then she arose with her daughters-in-law, that she might return to the country, from the country of Moab, because she had heard that the Lord had visited his people in giving them bread. So Naomi had now left and had went to Moab with her family, her wife, her husband, and also her 2 sons. It so happened that the husband had died, and then now her sons also had died. So you can tell that she was going through a lot. She was grieving a lot. And as well, in the country of Moab, they worshipped idol gods. So now Ruth had now heard that the Lord had visited his people in giving them bread. So now she has decided now to journey back to Bethlehem. However, she had her 2 daughters-in-law with her. But we see here, because of what Naomi had went through, she became bitter. She let that hard place become a bitter place. She even said, don't call me Naomi, which means pleasant. Call me Mara, which means bitter. She allowed what she went through to let her become bitter. Now, when God has put you in a place, yes, she did suffer grief. But understand that, she lost persons that were close to her, her husband, and also her 2 sons. And can you just imagine Naomi living in a place that worshipped false God? Probably she never had anybody really to talk to about her God. Her husband had died, and also her 2 sons had died, and now she was left. The 2 sons had married Moabites, and then now she had these 2 Moabites with her daughters-in-law, right? When also she went to Bethlehem, they said to her, is that Naomi? And she said, don't call me Naomi, call me Mara. She also describes where she says, the hand of the Lord has gone out against me. Verse 13. Would he tarry for them till they are grown? This verse now, she's speaking about that the daughters-in-law should really go back to Moab, because the chances of them remarrying in Moab would be greater than their chances of remarrying in Bethlehem. So she said, would he tarry for them till they are grown? Would he stay for them from having husbands? Nay, my daughters, for it grieveth me much for your sakes that the hand of the Lord is gone out against me. She said the hand of the Lord had gone out against her, right? She was looking at her situation the wrong way. She has also said that the Lord had brought her out full, or she had gone out full, but the Lord had brought her back home again empty. She had gone out full, she had left with joy, but now she was returning with sorrow. She had happiness, but now she has returned with bitterness. The hand of the Lord, had gone out against this woman of God. That is what she thought. But a lot of times when we're going through situations, we need to look at them and to ask God, Lord, let me see this thing the way how you see it. Speak to me, Lord, in dreams and in visions. Let me see or the way how you see. Let me gain perspective on this matter. Could it be that God was teaching her something? Could it be, that even the little, she said that she had gone out full but had returned home empty. But the thing is that she was not empty. She was in a low place. And the Lord told me while I was studying that what bitterness does, it blinds the eyes. So he's not allowing you to see properly. And I don't think that Naomi was seeing well in this situation, because she had grown bitter, right? But she was not empty. When I look at this story, she was not empty. Naomi wasn't empty. The little that she had, the wisdom that she had, she could still give it unto Ruth, right? And Ruth now know how to set herself in order to gain sight of her Boaz, or for her Boaz in to gain sight of her. So she was not empty. She still had a little left in her, right? She probably would have been low, but not empty. I want to tell you this morning that you might be running low spiritually, but you are not empty. God always used the little that we have and to turn it into something huge. I also look at the story with the woman, and her husband had died, and she had 2 sons, and the creditors were coming for her son. And the prophet said to her, what do you have in your house? And she said, just a cruse of oil. And the prophet also said to her, go and borrow vessels. And we saw where the prophet, he blessed that little cruse of oil that she had, and she had barrels of oil. God will utilize the little that you have. Also with Elisha, he spoke unto the woman in 1 Kings 17. He said, bake me a cake. And she had just a little bit left just for her son just to eat and die. But the prophet spoke unto her, and she went and she did what the prophet said. And she went and she baked that cake. And what happened? Her barrel never run dry. So God will utilize the little that you have. And I'm telling you this morning, do not let a hard place become a bitter place. Yes, you can be hurt, but don't let that hurt turn into bitterness, because bitterness blinds the eyes. It blinds the eyes. You cannot see well when you're bitter, right? And you can be in a situation where God is blessing you, but because you're bitter, you're not able to experience and to gain the fullness of that which He has blessed you with. All right. So do not let a hard place become a bitter place. And you might feel low, but you are not empty, and God is able to use that little that you have in order to bless you. Naomi's blessing was coming in a different form, through her daughter-in-law Ruth. Right, her blessing was coming in a different way, right? So you want to ask God this morning just to remove the scales from your eyes, to remove that bitterness, and to say, God, help to heal me, that I don't have this bitterness anymore in me, where I am blinded by my situation, right? So that's just my short word to you today. Don't let a hard place become a bitter place. Have a blessed day.